Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to bring to you today a subject that I thought was kind of interesting, and I think that there's a lot of people considering this option. I am talking about the subject of, is graduate school right for you? My plan for this is to have like a two-part series. So today I'm going to talk about just some of the elements and variables to kind of think about with regards to, is graduate school right for you? You know, how do you determine that? You know, what is kind of quote-unquote right mean? It's one of those things that I think is very unique and discerning to the individual, depending on, you know, what your lifestyle is, what your needs are, what your desires are for your career. You might be in a position at your work where you might need an advanced degree to accelerate your career, giving you higher levels of promotions, raises, that kind of thing. So I'm going to talk about those elements today, and then the second part I want to talk about the steps that I personally went through in terms of applying for graduate school. I finished my master's degree in clinical social work here in Boston, and very exciting, and I thought maybe you know, if there's just one person out there that finds this video helpful, then that's fantastic. So we can kind of jump into it right now. So the question is graduate school right for you? So certainly, as I mentioned before, you know, graduate school can certainly accelerate your career. So you might be in a position where you just want to get the advanced degree. You might have a job, your employer might encourage you to get it, or it might even be part of your contract, depending on where you're working. The really nice thing about graduate school that certainly that I found, I can certainly talk more about that in the second part of the series, is it gives you the opportunity to meet other people in your field. So you can maybe be in a potential situation right now at your work, and you might actually you might be interested in changing jobs, or you might be interested in maybe moving around in your company. And I got to tell you, even from personal experience, it's a small world out there, and you might meet someone in school that is in a very similar position to you. It opens up the opportunity for some really good networking. So it really can help you out for sure. You can certainly make friends in the process. I know for me, it was a bit of a combination of both. It was really good networking opportunities, and it also allowed me to meet some people. Some people I may have compartmentalized, and maybe they did as well with me, in terms of, you know, well, this person is more of a professional networking individual that I might reach out, he might reach out to me, that kind of thing. So that's certainly very exciting. It offers the opportunity to open up opportunities for you to dive into your industry. And you know, especially with internships, it's one of those things where you know, I think, well, for me personally, like with graduate school, it really opened up the opportunity for these internships because I had to do it. It was something that I had to do, and it certainly gave me a lot of experience. And that was really exciting too, and that really offered a lot of professional development, really good networking as well, and just the opportunity to meet more professionals in the field, and then really get that hands-on experience that a lot of people are looking for, especially in this kind of discipline of social work. You really do need to have that first-hand experience, because later when you graduate, a lot of these employers will say, you know, can you tell me about your experience? What did you learn from your internships? It also may help to identify areas that you'd like some more experience in. So that's also very exciting too, and that was certainly very exciting for me. And you meet just wonderful people too, and I think that was one of the really exciting things for me too, is because you're meeting people, you're going to school, you're in a program with people that have very similar values and meaning in terms of their career. It really opens up broad conversations. You learn a lot. I mean, I didn't just learn from my formal class settings and my internship, although those were both very fruitful learning opportunities. For me, it was, in addition to that, I had the opportunity to work with just some wonderful people, make some wonderful connections. I made friends in the process, and I really learned a lot. It was a very empowering and enriching experience to be able to meet people that have similar interests in working with maybe similar populations that I do, and gaining that valuable experience. And then it also gives people the opportunity to have those conversations kind of outside of a formal setting. So just for example, I might be sitting in the internship lounge during one of my internships when I was in social work school, and maybe we're just, a few of us are just having lunch, and we're maybe talking about, the clients that we met that day. What happened? What interventions did we provide to them? How did it help? Maybe there's some things that we were thinking about, and you kind of bounce ideas off of people, and there's something really exciting. It was certainly very exciting for me. I felt it was a really great learning opportunity for me, and I have a feeling that it was a good learning opportunity also for the interns that I interned with. It was a very positive, reciprocal experience, I would say. Some internships, the next point I want to make, some are paid. My internships in social work school were not paid, so it's just a really kind of a good thing maybe to keep in mind if you are considering social work school at the graduate level. Again, I guess it depends on where your internship is going to be held and what you're going to be doing. My understanding is that more of the paid internships, as far as a student status, graduate student goes, is more in kind of like the business world. If you're going to school for an MBA, accounting, these type of degrees. So I think that those might be more found there for paid internships. But again, if that's more of kind of the line of where you'd like to go and get your advanced degree, you can certainly look into that and see what the opportunities are for you. The other thing too that is really stands out for me is that this graduate school program, it really has a wonderful mentoring and supervision program. So going to graduate school for clinical social work, I had two clinical placements. My first one was at a school, and my second one was at an assisted living. And at both experiences, I had a supervisor, a clinical supervisor that I would meet with at least once a week for individual supervision and mentoring, and then also a separate one for group supervision and mentoring. So what that part means is all the people that you're interning with are part of you in that group. So there's something really kind of nice about that, and also, gives you another framework of learning opportunities and growth. I would say just kind of maybe kind of in a sense of tying this all together, you really gain additional training and education in your discipline. You really dive into it. There's really no kind of, getting your feet wet a little bit. I mean, you certainly can. And what I mean by that is when I started graduate school, I didn't fully matriculate in the beginning. I took one class just to see how I like it as a non-matriculated student. Loved the program at the school that I went to. It was a great fit for my personality. There are a lot of programs out there that you can do for counseling, so it kind of just depends on what kind of counseling that you want to do. I personally chose clinical social work because of the diversity and how generalizable the degree is. So let's say, for example, I was thinking to myself, well, when I graduate, I might want to work with adults for a while, and I might want to do that for, 10, 15 years. I really love the geriatric population. After a while of doing that, who knows? Later in life, I might say, I really want to work with children, or various kinds of challenges that parents have with their school-age children. A social work degree, a master's degree in social work is a wonderful opportunity, and really I think gives you that leg up and the broad options later in life. So definitely keep that in mind. With these really nice things as well, there's always things to consider. I'm not going to call them negative things, but things just to think about in terms of your lifestyle, your time, your current schedule, your current obligations with work, your family obligations. Do I dare say a social life as well? So things to consider. work-life, family, personal obligations, might you have to recalibrate your priorities. So what I mean by that is that if your life right now is pretty busy, but you really feel like you want to go to graduate school, maybe you need to, maybe it's mandatory for your work, think about maybe how you can do that. I really believe that there's a way to do everything and anything. If you want to do something, you put your mind to it, you'll absolutely be able to do it. The question really is what does that look like for you? Everybody's different. Everybody has a different situation. So think about, the kind of things that you might have to do to reorganize your life, potentially, to make graduate school an option for you. So for example, could you change your schedule at your current job for school? So if you're working currently and then you're thinking about signing up for a class or fully matriculating, how flexible is your current employer with you to do that? Are there other work opportunities that better accommodate a graduate student schedule? So maybe you're at your current work now and maybe it's not as accommodating. It may not be, but again, these are things that you can just investigate and kind of do a little research on. And at the end of the day, too, there are other jobs out there too that might not be exactly what you want, but maybe do offer a more flexible schedule and would really allow you to feasibly enter graduate school with that in mind. Might you need to change your living situation? So in terms of maybe you're living alone and your salary right now allows you to live on your own and you're able to have a comfortable life. Going to graduate school, does that mean you have to reduce the amount of hours that you're at your work? And as a result, your income is going to be less while you're going to school. So does that mean that you might have to move back in with family? Do you have to find another roommate, just find other living situations to make that work for you? The other thing too, just to keep in mind, when you're a graduate student, there really is a high demand. It's very taxing. I don't want to say that to scare you, but just to kind of educate a little bit on the demand. There's a lot of expectations. There's lots and lots of reading. There's lots of written assignments. There's group projects. There's individual and group presentations. There's meetings with your group if you're working on a project weeks in advance. There's 15, 20, 25, 50-page papers. There's some papers that go for a whole semester and you turn it in at the end of the semester. There's papers that you might have like 3 or 4 weeks to complete them, and there might also be some research attached that you need to do beforehand. So just kind of keep those kind of things in mind. And while you're doing all of that, you're also, in terms of clinical social work graduate school, in a internship. You have 2 internships. I think most accredited social work programs require 2 full internship experiences. So these are just some things to keep in mind. I hope that you guys found this video to be helpful. I do plan on making a follow-up to this video, which will be the steps that I took. Once I thought about what I want to do with my career, what's the degree I want, I came across social work after lots of research and conversations with professionals, and then I started the journey of how do I do that? So I made a list of things that I need to do, people that I might need to talk to, and I will be very happy to be posting that as soon as I can. Guys, thank you so much for checking in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please feel free to comment and post any questions that you have. If there's some things that maybe I didn't cover in this video or things that you want me to elaborate on a little bit more, I'd be very happy to. And you can put those comments and questions in the commenting section below. Like the video if you liked it, and for more updates on this lifestyle vlog and this lifestyle channel, please subscribe. Be very happy to have you. Take care, guys.